Hey guys, it's Justin again with part 2 for Tutorial Tuesday of the scribing practice things. Here's the piece we did last time. As you can see, I've added quite a bit to it rather than just the 2 lines. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to scribe. Well, I'm going to show you a couple things. The first thing I want to show you is, it's hard to see on here. There's a small mistake right there, and I want to get rid of that. And then I'm also going to show you how to duplicate your lines and how to copy them perfectly. The only things we're going to add this week are super glue or putty of your choice. So whichever one you feel more comfortable using is what you're going to use. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to fix that little error first, since that's super easy to do. I super glued that to the thing. We're going to take just a little bit of putty. In my case, we're going to put it on this piece of plastic. That's more than enough. I probably shouldn't have even bothered with that, but depending on how big the mistake area is, you're going to take a little piece of Dymo tape. You're going to cut the backing off, or pull the backing off. And you're kind of going to lay it against your line, and you're going to leave the mistake area exposed. If I can get that to focus. There we go. So you can see there's the mistake. And we're going to take the putty and just apply it over the area we want gone. Same thing would apply with the super glue. You would just kind of apply it over that area. And you just kind of let it dry. You can pull the tape up if you want. Doesn't really matter. But you essentially just want to keep it on that area and away from your actual lines. So we'll let that dry before we come back to that. Now, this next part is super easy. I forgot there's one other thing we're going to be adding this week, and that is masking tape. I prefer this kind. It's easier to see through, it's easier to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line, just like we did last time. Just any line. Good enough for me. And where's my tape? I'm gonna cut some of this out. That should be fine. So, you know the drill by now, hopefully. Pop this backing off. And just sort of follow the steps as last time. Alright, so we've scribed that. Did it real quick, so it's not going to be super neat, but not the point. So there's our line. Got a little bit of a mistake there, but that's fine. So we want to make this line again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of tape, and we're going to lay it on the piece. Super easy. If you want to wrap it around, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. And you just trace this line using a pencil, pen, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Now, so I'm going to recommend you get like a slightly thicker sheet of plastic. We're not going to need this whole thing, just a little bit. And you pull this tape off. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to make a guide. So that's about where it started, and that's about where it ended. Close enough. You can use those for something later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife, and we're just going to very carefully basically just cut this out. And there we go. So we have an exact copy of that line we made. It matches up perfectly. So now what you can do is you can either trace this onto the thing and then redo like you've done before, or you can trace this onto Dymo tape using your knife, being incredibly careful. Then you can pull the backing off. I kind of screwed this up a little bit, but trial and error is a large part of this. I'm just going to put it above it for now. That's fine. And then you should be able to just trace these lines. I didn't cut all the way through that. Get off of there. Okay. So now you just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll just 6, 7. And when you pop the tape off, trace the other way. Two, 3. Now I'm going to say it's easier to retrace your template before you commit to scribing it, because it gives you the opportunity to make sure that its placement is right. You can see it visually before you go back and scribe it again. But then you can also take your time. So like if I went ahead and did this like I should have and just trace this template onto here, I would have been able to go a little slower and I could have made that template look a little nicer. But that said, I think this came out okay for as quickly as I did it. Again, you want to take your time. I didn't have enough tape on the one, so but I think you get the idea. It's better to trace using the pencil directly on your part and then go very slowly and take your time and redo it. And we can come back and look at this real quick. I think this putty should be dry enough to sand. Yep. And then we will take a knife and get rid of that. And that mistake is gone. Is it perfectly smooth? Not right this second, but the mistake is gone. That's the biggest thing. Once you kind of get in there with like a fine grit sandpaper, that disappears. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you pulled a little something from it. I think next time I will go a little bit more into the 3 lines rule, I guess, and we can talk about, you know, what else is left before we get into actually applying scribe lines to your model kit. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.